There are two kinds of people in this world, those who adapt to reality and those who rewrite it. Steve Jobs belonged to the second kind. He didn't just build products, he built possibilities. He didn't just see technology, he saw poetry inside silicon. While most people waited for permission, he designed his own stage and forced the world to watch. You see, mediocrity whispers, "Be realistic." But visionaries like Jobs, they laugh at the word realistic, because realistic is just a fence built by the comfortable to protect themselves from the extraordinary. Jobs once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." But what he didn't say out loud was the silent truth behind it, that the world will hate you first, mock you next, and worship you only when you're gone. Because mediocrity is safe, keeps you inside the box, but greatness, it burns the box down and builds a new world out of the ashes. When Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, his own company, the world thought the story had ended. But he understood something the world didn't. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the raw material of greatness. He didn't whine, he didn't retreat. He created again. He founded Next. He gave birth to Pixar. And when the world finally came full circle, Apple came back to him. Not as an employer, but as a kingdom reclaiming its lost king. Every time you think you've lost everything, remember that Jobs built empires out of exile. He turned rejection into reinvention, because visionaries don't chase applause, they chase truth. And the truth is, mediocrity is a virus. It infects the soul with comfort, numbs the will with routine, and makes you believe that good enough is a badge of honor. But Steve never wanted to be good. He wanted to be different. When he looked at a phone, he didn't see buttons. He saw a canvas. When he looked at a computer, he didn't see circuits. He saw the future of human creativity. And when he looked at himself, he didn't see a CEO. He saw a disruptor. This is where most people fail. They copy, they follow, they conform. But Jobs built his philosophy around one simple law: don't live someone else's life. Because conformity is death, slow, silent, and comfortable. But rebellion, that's where life begins. You want to build something that lasts? Then stop seeking validation. Stop chasing shortcuts. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Jobs didn't care about fitting in. He cared about building things that made the world gasp. He believed that true creation requires confrontation. With the world, with your limits, with your own fear. He confronted everything. He argued with engineers. He pushed designers to the edge. He broke people, but not out of cruelty, out of clarity. Because he understood something most leaders never will. Excellence is not born from agreement. It's forged in friction. He once said, "Real artists ship." That wasn't about deadlines, it was about courage. The courage to release your vision before it's perfect. The courage to show your work before the world claps. The courage to act while everyone else is still planning. That's the difference between those who dream and those who deliver. Dreamers imagine perfection. Doers iterate toward it. Jobs didn't just build Apple. He designed an experience. He obsessed over fonts, buttons, the sound of a click. Because he knew the smallest details define the biggest legacies. While others were chasing profits, he was chasing purity. He believed that simplicity was not a design principle. It was a philosophy of life. He said simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Because the more noise you strip away, the closer you get to truth. Think about it. The world glorifies complexity. More meetings, more features, more words, more clutter. But Jobs knew. Clarity cuts through chaos like light through darkness. And that's what mediocrity fears, clarity. Because once you see clearly, you can no longer pretend. You can no longer make excuses. You either build or you break. He lived his life like a sculptor, not an engineer, cutting away everything unnecessary until only essence remained. He didn't ask, "What do people want?" He asked, "And what will make their souls sing?" That's why every Apple product wasn't just a tool. It was a statement. A rebellion against the ordinary. A reminder that design is not decoration. It's the fingerprint of intention. And that's the lesson you're missing in your own life. You keep trying to decorate your reality instead of designing it. You buy the gadgets but not the grit. You chase the trends but not the truth. You copy the formula but not the fire. Jobs didn't follow passion. He pursued obsession, because passion fades when you're tired. Obsession keeps you awake when the world sleeps. He once said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." But few understand what that truly means. It means never let success sedate you. Never let logic limit you. Never let comfort silence the calling inside your soul. The world doesn't need another influencer. It needs another innovator. Doesn't need noise, it needs vision. And that vision begins when you dare to crush mediocrity. Because mediocrity is not a lack of talent. It's a lack of audacity. The courage to say this isn't enough. The defiance to reject the easy route when everyone else is taking it. Mediocrity whispers, "Play safe." Greatness replies, "Watch me risk everything." Steve Jobs didn't play safe. He built empires on uncertainty. He launched products before markets were ready. He fired people who didn't see the vision. He made decisions that terrified his own board. And yet history bends to those who dare to look insane. Remember this, every revolutionary is first called delusional. They said the iPhone would fail. They said computers were for corporations, not homes. They said no one cared about fonts, design, or elegance. And yet Jobs bent the world to his taste. Because he knew, reality is not discovered, it's constructed. You don't wait for the future to happen. You build it. Every act of creation is an act of defiance against limitation. Every bold idea begins as a rebellion against good enough. That's the essence of the unfiltered Steve Jobs mindset. Don't worship innovation, embody it. Don't chase perfection, iterate relentlessly. Don't seek applause, seek alignment with your truth. And maybe that's why so few ever touch true greatness, because it costs everything fake you've ever been. To create like Jobs, you must kill your comfort. To lead like Jobs, you must burn your ego. To live like Jobs, you must be willing to be misunderstood for decades. He didn't want balance, he wanted breakthroughs. He didn't crave validation. He craved purity of purpose. He didn't build for money. He built to make a dent in the universe. And here's what that means for you. If your dream doesn't scare you, it's not worthy of your soul. If your vision doesn't make others doubt you, it's not revolutionary. If your work doesn't exhaust you, it's not yet art. You are not meant to fit in. You are meant to disrupt. You are not here to follow rules. You are here to rewrite them. The people who built the future were the ones too obsessed to quit and too stubborn to conform. So crush mediocrity. Crush the part of you that says, "This is enough." Crush the dullness that disguises itself as stability. And from the fragments, craft your legacy. Because one day when your story is told, they won't talk about what you earned. They'll talk about what you ignited. They'll talk about the vision that refused to die. The risks that reshaped your destiny. The madness that gave birth to meaning. And in that moment, you'll realize you were never chasing success. You were sculpting immortality. Stay hungry, stay foolish, and above all, stay unforgettable.